Gotta snap into my mode. Gotta get into it.
What mode is that?
I don't know. Gotta snap into it.
You did say it was Wednesday, right?
All right. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back. I'm back. He's back. You haven't been on here in like. It's been a minute since you've been on here. Like since. What was that? Not pre-pandemic, but mid-pandemic, mid-stroke, mid-Panasonic, mid-Panic at a Disco, Panera Express. Not Bruh. Panera Express, Panda Express.
Oh, no, but Panera Bread.
Panera Bread, yeah.
Panera Bread.
Yeah.
Fuck that place.
But I'm back. We're back. Tyler's back. Kenshi V.
What's up? Kenshi V.
All that good shit. We made it to the end of March, y'all, and we have officially put out a Fuck It It's Friday. Every motherfucking Friday for the month of March. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are good. So I mean that's a milestone. I'm happy. I'm happy for that.
Cheers.
Yeah, and we sipping. We on the I found this in Total Wine, the English Red Mango. Now it's a little sweet. It's on the sweeter side.
That's a syrup.
It's syrup. Like not maple syrup, but
it's a mango maple syrup.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gonna lie, drinking that straight, you can definitely taste the mango that they going for.
Yeah. It's real sweet. So I don't sit like if you want your skin to be clear the next day, like don't drink it. But if you don't give a fuck and you want to have a couple of pimples pop up every now and then, you don't mind a couple of little dot. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse. If you don't mind some put a little toothpaste on your pimples and shit, by all means, do your shit. But you could probably also drink a lot of water and like clear it out your system. Combat it. No,
shit, if you want to drink it, you drink it.
All right, whatever. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, we are back. And since it's the last Fuck It Friday for the month, wanted to switch it up. Bring my bro on here, and then I'm usually talking about my life and the bullshit that's going on in my life, or the lack of bullshit that's going on in my life, whatever. I'm trying to keep it fresh, keep it new, keep it things going. And I've been doing these reaction things to these tweets for the past couple of weeks. Like tweets and things on Instagram that I see that either I find problematic or I find funny. It helped me get through my week or whatever. But this week, the whole fucking Friday video is going to be a reaction video to the shit that has been trending this week. Tyler doesn't get on social media as much as I do, so like when I be like talking to him about some shit, he'd be like, "What's been happening? I don't even know what's been happening." So I figured we could do a reaction video to the shit that's happened this week.
All right.
So you want to get into it?
Yeah.
So you want me to explain the context of this video first?
Yeah, cause like I know a little bit about it. I did catch like when I call it when.
Yeah.
I ain't followed the shit.
Yeah,
so
he didn't take flight.
Nah.
Okay.
I see what you did there. Hey, you got some.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And see, I always be getting on here and I be looking like somebody's booty hole. Girl, that's a booty hole.
What's that? Girl, that's a booty hole.
Yo, bruh.
Okay. So
you gotta cut that in there, right? You gotta cut that in there. Because they need to know.
Oh my goodness.
They need to know.
So basically, I comment dive, I Twitter dive, I dive into whatever bullshit that be going on sometimes, because
I don't got time for that.
Sometimes that shit just either makes my day or makes me want to yell. So I be diving into different shit. So what's been going on this week? This man named Darryl Jackson, and I think that's how you say his name. Darryl Jackson. First thing on his profile. Healing and healthy relationships. Ooh. God's way. Serving it up Gary's way, baby. Okay. So apparently
1.3 million.
Oh, and we're not even gonna get into that. They'll see it on the screenshot.
That's a lot of influence.
That is a lot of influence, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So Darryl Jackson trended on Twitter or whatever, trended on Instagram, all that other shit. And naturally, I didn't see like his initial video first, but I saw people like doing like not reaction videos, but like comedy skits and like basically them like recreating this apology video that he about to get into. But to give you context, because it's not even an apology video, it's like a public address, because I mean you said it, he got 1.3 million followers, so like he addressing his fan base in this shit. So what's going on? And of course I had to look into it because people were doing all these things, so I had to understand the joke for it to be funny. Okay, so apparently he has committed infidelity in his marriage. And some other things. I didn't even watch the video all the way, so I'm going to be responding to some stuff too. Okay. So I sped through it. But essentially, he a fuckboy and he cheated on his wife, and now he's addressing the public. And I mean, you see what's in his shit. Healing and healthy relationships, God's way. Healing and healthy relationships, God's way. So we gonna see what this is.
Okay, but
let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, hold up. Let's see.
Wife Danae. What's going on, guys? Darryl Jackson here, and today I am joined by my lovely wife Danae, and we just wanted to address a couple of things. You know, we understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not, that this chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed.
Wait, hold on. Do you see the way she looking already, though?
Yeah. No, I
she's like, okay.
I still need a break. Shit. I caught that in the first couple seconds.
She is not having it.
No, she is having a Marshawn Lynch. She's just here so she won't be fine.
It's the rock back and forth for me. It's the...
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right.
It started around August, maybe September of last year. But, you know, a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true. Some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Darryl Jackson was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing.
I don't know how she's sitting there.
That's one thing.
She's holding the hell out of his hand.
That's one thing, but when you cheat on somebody, we assume that you fucking them. Like, you don't gotta, whatever. Anyways.
Some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out. Definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took. And definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now. Now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm, married to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God. Then I have to be accountable to my wife, in which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it. But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that for any amount of time or any length of time to any extent and think that I can't be held accountable. Mm-hmm. The same way that I preach, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Darryl Jackson's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised and what trauma, whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I got to account for.
Not multiple.
I've already made that bed and have had to lie in it. And now we're finally getting on to the other side personally in our own healing and our own marital oneness. And now this is being made public to you guys, so we're bringing that forth to you guys to let you know where we're at with that. But did you want to say anything?
Yes, so I do want to just add that I agree with what you just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. And it was unacceptable, and it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I...
But at what point did you tolerate it? What? Moving forward, I thought when we said our vows, we didn't tolerate it. What?
They're trying to be political, bro.
Okay. I'm gonna let them finish.
Flooded again with messages and these things and about, I need to leave or why haven't I left? And the answer is, when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back.
What was that?
And I did not come back.
No, you didn't.
Until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality, in how he carried himself, and how he presented himself, and conversations that we were able to have that we had never been able to have in just 12 years of knowing each other. And when we were able to have these dialogues, said, okay, Lord, this is something that you've had your hand on. And this was with me being completely removed from his life. And him pursuing God, continuing to pursue God, and continuing to eliminate these things that led up to the catastrophe that you guys are seeing for the first time. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't already know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from men of God. And that is what I needed for the continuation of me being present and in this marriage and to stand by his side. So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you all. And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that, we are free and moving forward. So that's all I have.
Yeah. And I get it. Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock, probably a huge disappointment. I let a lot of you down.
It's not shocking, because niggas ain't shit. I don't give a fuck who, what, when, where, how. I don't care if you from India. I don't care if you from China. I don't care if you from Australia. Niggas ain't shit across the world. Across religions, across races, from Snickers to Kit Kat to Almond Joy. All niggas ain't shit. But, and when I say niggas, it's gender neutral. Bitches ain't shit either. But let's continue.
If you have a shift on who Derrick is, hopefully it's away from anything remotely close to perfection, and then it's simply that, I am a human, And that does not justify anything that I did. But I don't want anybody out there to be putting me on a pedestal. If you did, then I hate that you did that. Maybe I gave you cause for that, and I apologize if I did. For those who are saying, Derrick, I don't want to ever listen to you again, it's totally understandable. I appreciate you while I had your support and helping me get the message out about healing and healthy relationships to so many people who needed it, myself included. And for those who are going to continue to support, man, I appreciate you like never before, because I know it's not going to be easy going forward, at least for a little while so many things are still fresh and attached to my name. But for everybody out there, if you get nothing else from what I've ever said over the last 9 years or right here in this video, please get this. Nothing is right until it is right with God. Nothing works until it comes into alignment with biblical standard of how God told us to do things, especially when we're talking about a marital, spiritual covenant. Yes. You know, you cannot do this by your own understanding, your own intelligence, your own willpower, your own values. You have to have the grace of God to break free from certain things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may be. And it's because it's really only by God's grace that we're even able to be here on this video, holding hands. Well, like a year ago, 7-8 months ago even, I couldn't see this happening. I thought it was over, and I already had begun establishing my relationship with God. But
our eyes told it all. He said that, bro.
It's like, girl. It's like, nigga, God's grace. I didn't fuck up your car.
Doing things God's way. So that's where I stand. That's where we stand. And again, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon. Peace. What's going on, guys? Darryl Jackson here.
Okay. So, first thoughts, because there's a lot to unpack here. But what's like the main thing that's like coming to mind?
I mean, seeing it all the way through. I feel like we caught news late. First off, so this is something that's been dealt with. This, like he said, we just found out about it, and I feel like they've moved on. I think they are in a new stage, like they said in the video, and it was just more. This was like a political thing, like to like address a 1.3 million.
His 1.3 million followers.
You gotta address them. Like people they look like they have what face? What face would that be? What meme is a good?
I don't even know.
The face you would have. No, well, you saying you felt like you already knew that because niggas ain't shit. You was more so waiting for like what the story actually was.
Yeah.
You just knew there was a story.
So there's a couple of things here.
Gotta get another shot.
There's a couple of things here that I want to address. Well, first I want to I commend them, first of all, like, and not that my opinion matters or anything, but
they did some Will and Jada shit.
No, I think we should do a video to that. We'll come back next time. I think it's dope that they're being extremely open about their relationship. And I think more people.
1.3 million.
Hold on, we'll get there. I think it's dope that they're being open about their relationship and that it's not easy. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, that's a very that was eye opening.
Yeah. And I think that's the mindset that I've always had with relationships. And what I try to tell specifically some of my friends that are women, like, you know, it's not gonna always be easy. And your quote unquote deal breakers and all these other things, like, when it comes to knowing a person, getting to know a person, like, you have to know them through all phases. So, like, when they're at their worst points and they're doing the things that this nigga's face is killing me. He making this face right now at me. I can't. I should screenshot that. It's like, nigga, you talking about me.
And we just wanted to address a couple.
Bruh.
Oh my goodness. But
they should make a Boondocks episode.
That's too much. But it's because my content is raw, so I appreciate when people are posting raw content about their lives and how situations really play out. Like, relationships are not easy. Like, there are so many messed up things that people do to each other in relationships that we just do not hear about. But what makes that relationship beautiful is the fact that they're able to overlook it and love them regardless. And I think that's a huge disconnect when it comes to Gen X and all the other motherfucking alphabets that come after Gen X. Like, we have this whatever idea of what relationships are supposed to be like, and it's completely false. But I won't go too far into that. What I do have to say, because that's the main thing. I have to give them that because that's powerful. Okay. Especially in like the times that we live in today. Like, we don't have this authentic view of like what relationships are supposed to be like. We have the engagement, gender reveals, like just all these major milestones. We're getting our first house together and all these other things. Like, that's all we see, but we don't see this. And when we see this, our first thing to do is sort of ridicule the relationship or whatever. Even though it's still sort of laughable to me, because, and like he said, like, you know, you don't have to follow me after this and all this other stuff. And it's like, I hope you didn't put me on a pedestal and like all this other stuff. But like, I feel like that's such a scapegoat for him, because and this is the shit I wanted to show you, Tyler, like, all this shit before this, I mean, yeah, living your truth. If you're really feeling like all this relationship advice and all this other stuff, this nigga talked about Offset and like what he did for Cardi and like how like it was sort of a joke and how it wasn't romantic. Like, he made like a whole post about it. And I don't put people on pedestals. I think he's very right in that saying, but I think he's minimizing the impact that he's had, because like you said, he has 1.3 million followers. So people look at the things that you say and do and value you. It's not about putting you on a pedestal. So for you to make that statement, it sort of makes me feel like you honestly really don't give a fuck. Like, and to a point, he didn't, because he did it anyway. And he did it anyway while he was spouting all of this stuff about healthy, what his shit say? Healing and healthy relationships, God's way. You knew that shit from the jump, my nigga. You knew this shit from the jump. And I'm not here victimizing nobody, because I ain't no perfect motherfucker either. Like, I've done some shit that I'm not proud of. You know, I hope people can love me through that and all that other stuff. But like, I don't sit here and at least now, because I've had people tell me like, oh, Sean, like, you can come off like sort of, you know, like you looking down on people and all that other shit. But like, I do my best to like always try to preach the right thing and try to live a morally correct life. And if I fuck up, like, I own up to it. And I don't have a whole page telling people how to live healthy or live healthy lives and build these relationships. No, I'm not doing that shit. But this nigga is, and that's my problem. And that's my problem with a lot of motherfuckers who like open their mouths to say stuff about other people. Like, this nigga, like, he sits here and respond. Like, I can't make this up. He sits here and responds to people and how they choose to.
Those texters is too late. Take it for granted.
He is out here saying all this stuff about different, and there's probably a lot of validity in the shit that he said.
He got 21 Savage.
But you out here fucking other bitches. Like, at the end of the day, you fucking other bitches. Like, that's just what it is. You done fuck other bitches. And I don't know all the tea. I don't know all the details. But it's sort of fucked up that you sitting here preaching all this stuff about relationships when you out here dicking other females and your wife at home wondering where the fuck you at. Like, that shit just blows me a little bit. So, it bothers me. It bothers me because you can live in your truth. Like, I wouldn't feel right posting this type of stuff when I know for a fact that I'm not living up to it. Right. And he may be living up to it in every other sense, but I mean, in today's society, like, infidelity is one of the You know,
So
that's
I would
one of
say-
the biggest
I would
things.
say, do you feel like he should have addressed it? He should have addressed it before he started to move how he's moving. Do you think he needed to do that, or is it like, okay, well, that was his personal business, so what he's put on the internet is not about his personal business. It's more so like, at the end of the day, how to help people.
I get the brand, but if you're I mean, he said it himself.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to
But I'm
contradict
just saying, like,
the stuff.
in this sense, like once the incident has happened and it's happened, but you've dealt with it within your personal life. Like, do you need to come here and address the 1.3 million? Like, is that?
I mean, technically, no. I mean,
and so that's what happened, and then it's not until someone decided to say something about it and bring it to light that people were like, oh, what?
but it just, for me, and this is just for me, it draws into question credibility into what you're actually saying. Because are you actually doing these things? Like, you went as far as stepping outside of your marriage. And for you to talk about all of these little things and how to guide people into healthy relationships and all that other stuff when your stuff wasn't
Well, maybe this is an experience that needs to be put out there to help show the dynamics and the overall work that it takes to actually have a healthy relationship. Maybe that's what this part of his so-called career, if we would like to say that, or whatever it is, that's what this is. This is a learning experience for him, and that he can use to learn from and move forward.
The biggest thing for me is just the fact that people are finding value in the things that you're saying and you're putting out there. Mm-hmm. You know, it's one thing if you didn't give a fuck, but you clearly do give a fuck. Like, you do. And you're taking the time to put out this type of content. But you sitting here dicking somebody else down. Like, that's what it comes down. Like, not at one point did you think about the people who truly value your advice. And you probably did. But I mean, at the end of it all, you didn't think about your wife.
But that's what he said. He said he had to learn from it. It's just something where he made a mistake. And that's why I was saying, like, does he need to say anything? I mean, he made a mistake. He can acknowledge the mistake. He just wants to move forward from it.
But it's what you do during that process, though, don't you think?
What process?
Of, like, acknowledging your mistake and, like, making the mistake. Like,
oh, like the 12-step, like, admit, or...
No, I mean, not necessarily that, but, like... So, you wouldn't feel any type of way of, like, say, like, you're doing, like, fitness stuff. And, like, you're putting out all this content or just spouting all this stuff about, like, oh, eating 3 meals a day, make sure it's non-fried, and da-da-da-da-da, no sweets, water only, da-da-da, and, like, you're doing everything behind the scenes that contradicts that. Like, you don't feel like that's problematic?
No, I wouldn't. I would definitely show that and be like, I ain't perfect. And that's what I would do.
But I don't think that's what he did. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, at first glance, because I'm not trying to get into his shit. Like, I really don't give a fuck.
I don't know how it went down. But you're just saying you can get the idea. But from looking through his page, you can get the idea.
You're sitting here talking about Offset, who did the same exact thing you did. He commented on that. He went out of his way.
Especially if this had happened already and he is so-called moved on from.
Yeah, no, like, I can't get behind that.
You can't use that. Yeah.
I can't. So your credibility, like, is shot to me. And I feel like you knew you're following before you started doing the shit that you were doing. Don't talk about pedestal. And you want to talk about what God has put you on this earth to do. If God put you on this earth to do this shit, you know for a fact that.
Hey,
but I mean,
God don't pick the most qualified.
That's fair.
You become qualified.
And that's fair. And
That's what
I mean,
keep saying, like,
I think that's
something for him. This is gonna be something that he had to address it. Not that he didn't have to address it to the people, but it's something he had to address it.
He had to do for himself.
Yeah.
And I think to bring it full circle, I think there's power in that as well. In always speaking your truth. Like, there's always power in that. But I think just for myself, like, I think you have to live in that all the time. And I think if you really want to talk about God's way, like, he wants you to live in that all the time.
Yeah.
Because people become inspired from that type of stuff. People, you pull in more people through authenticity and whatever.
You can, but at the same time, you'll get people to
talk their shit. Yeah.
And
I get it. I'm not. I mean, because this is a black man. At the end of the day, this is the black marriage. Like, I'm not even about to go that deep into it. I'm happy to see them. Like, at the end of it all, I'm happy to see them working through it.
Because that's a long time together.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say it's not easy. It is not easy to stay with someone. I mean, but some shit like that go down. So
I think that speaks on, like, our generation, though, because, like, we just have this.
That's what you said. It's not always perfect. Like, that's how you started it. It's not always perfect. But I mean,
I just don't want people to do this. Like, at least the mass following. And I know we're all human. Like, I get that aspect. It's just when you have and I can't even say that because, like, as someone who, like, does, like, this public shit, like, sometimes I really don't give a fuck what people have to say. So I feel that. I really do. But I try to be cognitive of, like, how I live my life and, like, the shit that I'm saying. Like, I know I'm not perfect, but before I do some fuck shit, I'd be like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure he did the same thing, but he just was like,
not several times. He was in her pussy. That's all I got. Do you have any final thoughts?
It's funny because I only caught wind because I like, how did this break?
Probably one of his hoes.
No, see, I saw Isaac Hayes tweet about him. So it was like they had a beef for a quick second.
Oh, really? Who's Isaac Hayes?
The music. Look him up, actually.
On Instagram?
Yeah, he got an Instagram. It's old school music. Where is it at? I think this is all his posts about it. No, you should do this.
Okay. So, any woman that ever bought a Darryl Jackson book, cup, or V-neck tee deserves a full refund. My sentiments. This man chastised and tore down black men for years to black women for profit. Ooh. All while cheating on his wife dozens of times. The kind of damage he's done to black relationships is sick. Ooh! Caption.
Bro, he gave him his, bro.
Riddle me this. How many women have divorced, broken up with, or pushed away black men, husbands, fathers, boyfriends for the very same things Darryl Jackson is asking his wife to forgive him for right now? The broken hearts, the separated fathers, and husbands and men who didn't even cheat, but somehow didn't follow every rule in Derrick's relationship books he's been selling for years. That's damage. Critical damage to black love. Hashtag Darryl Jackson is the enemy of black men. He's always been weak and insecure, small and fragile. Those muscles are a way to compensate for his fear of being outmanned.
Oh, snap.
This dude has millions of followers. Women that hang on his every word and instruction, and you, the devil, not black men, ? Pathetic. This man has cost fathers time with their kids. Black men, a chance to heal their relationships and marriages. It's funny till you look at it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a sicko. Sicko, C-I-C-K-O. You all need to get your money back in full. All caps. You've lost your time, and that ain't coming back. At least get back your money.
Oh,
And to the car counselor, and to the car counselor himself. If you want to cheat, be separated or whatever, that's your personal business. But leave these black women alone. They are really hurting, and you are a predator. Always stop using your supposed to be brothers as tools to destroy black love. For a dollar to go trick off and be the hashtag little boy. You have been talking about so much about these past 4 years. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. I am a little ass boy.
Dang.
Now go put on that on a tee and make your videos on how to be a man in your car.
Because he always in the car. Bro, you gotta scroll because he...
Ooh.
This started... No, go scroll through his page, bro. This is when
Scroll through his page?
Yeah, go up a little bit more. What was it? This was funny.
When I saw Darryl Jackson, the black male relationship guru, trended for cheating on his wife numerous times.
That ain't who I think it is. I know that ain't who I think it is. I know that ain't who I think it is. I know that.
Shit. Anyways, it's time to go.
Nigga, you hit what?
Let us know your thoughts.
I mean, I'll just to wrap it up. I think what I would say is it's unfortunate, but it was a mistake, and we should just Will and Jada learn from it. Entanglement. That was the word. He just got entangled, snared, trapped.
With multiple women.
Was it multiple women or multiple times? With the same woman.
Ain't none of my business.
None of my business. None of my business.
And this is why I'm single to this day, because I don't have time to navigate all of this. I don't have time to cheat. I don't have time to be cheated on.
It's a fucking obstacle course just to be happy.
Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, that's let me know your thoughts. That's because I'm not gonna try to persuade you one way or the other.
Nope.
If you fucking with the kid, if you fucking with this video, thumbs up. Drop a comment so you know we can have the dialogue about the thoughts or whatever. And then of course subscribe for future content and all that other shit. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.